Hello everyone, I'm Ezekiel Kuhoga from OQP Community Network, and if you are following our media channels like YouTube, Facebook, or even LinkedIn, then perhaps you know already that we have this the program for reading books, and we read the books together. I mean, we go in one pace so that we can encourage each other, we motivate each other to make sure that we read successfully. And we already have some members who are participating, and they are giving me feedback that it is really helping. Some of them were really struggling even to finish one book. But up to this moment, we have already read, in this year, we've already read, I think, over 4 books already. And it's really going on well. Somewhere in March, we read this book called The Strangest Secret in the World, which has been written by Earl Nightingale. And I think it's one of the books which you need to find and read. It's very useful, very useful. And I'm here to discuss with you the 12 main points which I learned from that book. And I think it would be important for you to know about them. And in case you haven't read that book yet, then you need to find the book and learn also from it. In the YouTube, we also discussed about this book, but we used the Swahili language because normally after each reading of each books, we have to make like a conclusion by meeting through video call, and then we discuss on the book what we have learned and stuff like that. So let me go straight. So number one, Mr. Earl Nightingale has decided to take 100 men as a sample, and he has modeled this 100 men, and he said, if you take these 100 men at 25 years of age and you come to check back again later when they reach 65 years old of age, this is what you're going to find out. Number one is going to be rich, very rich. And when I say rich, actually we are talking financially wise here, so it's about money. When we say he's rich, that means he's having more money than he needs. That means he has already paid his debts, he has already covered his emergencies, he's having businesses which continuously pouring in the money in his accounts, he's having projects which continuously give him the money, something like that. So only 1 out of 100 is going to be rich, and 4 out of 100 they are going to be financially independent. Means maybe they don't have so many sources of income, but they already have enough to make them independent about money. That means they can afford their basic daily needs, they can eat what they want, they can afford to carry on any financial emergency, and life goes on. And then he said 5 out of those 100 will still be working. Perhaps they've already reached the age, actually this 65 maybe in some countries it's already retiring age, in some other countries you could still be allowed to work. And he says 5 out of 100 they will still be working because they have to. No other way they can afford to continue living. And he said 54 they are going to be broke. And actually this is in this model is where I think that statement has been coming along, that only 3% of people are going to make it like financially, or only 4% or something like that. And according to this model which Earl Nightingale used, so it shows that only 5% of these people, they are going to win financially at the age of 65. One who is going to be extremely rich, and the 4 who are going to be financially independent. Why does it happen? He discussed it in the book. Maybe perhaps I'm going to talk about it a little bit later, but for now just know that you need to find the book and read. Point number 2, he has discussed the meaning of success, and he has said that success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. And I think this definition, he has put it so well, because many people they are having a hard time realizing what they should do with their lives, because he's going into politics, he's not satisfied, he's going into maybe teaching, then he goes into engineering. Every day he keeps on jumping from one field to another, and he doesn't find that satisfaction because he believes that he's supposed to be somewhere. But according to this definition, it seems that if you intended to do something which is worthy enough, for instance like teaching, if you wanted to become a teacher and you have started working into becoming a teacher, and at the moment you're already doing something in that direction, that means you are already successful. And he said progressive, that means this is a process, it's not a one-time thing. So it's like you start A and then B and then C and then up to Z in the moment when your life will be taken out of this world. Now, point number 3, he said the key, now key to success. We become what we think about. This is the sentence which he has emphasized very heavily, that you become what you think about. And I think he took this statement from the Bible, book of Proverbs. I don't remember which verse, which says that as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. And also, point number 4, he continues on that. Point number 3, he says, now you become what you think, and through that is that only men with goals succeed. Because if you're having goals, that means you have something worthy to think about. And if you're having something worthy to think about, that means your life clearly is going somewhere with respect to your goals. So he's really emphasizing that you should always live by making goals, financially, healthy wise, in relationship, and every other area you can think about. And point number 5, he has used the verse from the Bible. He has taken Mark 9:23, which says, if thou canst believe, all things are possible to him who believeth. Now, this is the statement which was given by Jesus himself, that if you can believe, everything is possible to him who believes. That means you have unlimited ability of doing extremely great things, but we are always limited by our own self-inflicting beliefs. As you grow into the society, many communities, they would tell you, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do this, this is only for Europeans, this is only for Americans, this is only for Asians and stuff like that. Then at the end of the day, you end up restraining yourself, and that restraining yourself turns into being your real life. So you become what you think about. Point number 6, he said, the people who get on in this life, they are the people who get up and look for circumstances in order for them to achieve their dreams. And if it happens they don't find those circumstances, they create them, they make them. He took this statement from George Bernard Shaw. Point number 7, actually, if I could talk a little bit on point number 6, is that sometimes you can be in an environment which maybe you have a particular skill, but the environment does not support you. So most of the time people end up complaining, like, okay, I know maybe I'm an electrician, but there's no electricity in my neighborhood. So you end up just living like that. And he says, no, you have to look for the circumstances to make your dreams work. If you can't find those circumstances, then you have to find a way to create that circumstance. Something like that. Point number 7, he said, each of us succeeds according to your ability of selling. And I think this is also one of the very important points. You don't succeed according to your ability to invent or create, or I don't know, whatever you can call it. Your ability to sell what you have is the one which will link you from where you are now to your success. This is his main point, and this is how he has discussed in the book. Because you can have a very big idea, but until you make somebody sit down and listen to you, that idea is going to be worthless. You may have very wonderful products, and actually if you go into the streets and look for people, you are going to find many people who are being very creative. They are wonderful. But at the end of the day, they end up complaining against the government that the government did not take care of them. Why? Because for some reasons they couldn't sell that idea to either to government officials or to anybody else. So you have to learn how to sell your ideas. Actually, we have also been reading books on sales and marketing and stuff like that. You need to join us so that we can learn together. Point number 7. He says, our doubts are traitors that makes us lose the good we might often win by failing to tempt. Now he's speaking against fear. Fear, not that fear which is naturally implanted in our bodies, but that fear which immobilizes you, which makes you fail to move forward. Because I actually listened to Les Brown, and Les Brown, he made this statement very spectacular. He said it's okay to have fear because you can't avoid having fear. Anybody is afraid of something. But the problem comes when this fear causes you not to act because of fearing the outcome that you might get out of something. And so from this statement, which he actually took this statement from William Shakespeare, he says that we often lose the good or the good stuff that we might have won if we had attempted, but we fail to win this stuff by failing to attempt because of fear. So fear is something that we really should take a good look at. And actually, if you have been following President Roosevelt, I think he was I don't know which number, but he was president at the United States of America, and he said there is nothing to fear rather than the fear itself. So take note. Point number 9, he said, save at least 10% of your income daily or monthly, every day. Make sure that every money, it doesn't matter the amount of money that comes into your pocket, make sure 10% you set it aside for yourself. And this is what they call it, pay yourself first. Some people have misinterpreted this statement of paying yourself first. They think that paying yourself first means to satisfy oneself. So every income you get, you must go out, get some drinks, enjoy your life, and that's how you pay yourself. No. Paying yourself first, that means setting aside some portion of money which you could use in your own projects later on. Point number 10, nothing great is overachieved without inspiration. Inspiration or motivation is one of the how should I say it? It's like a fire. It's the thing which keeps things boiling. You could easily lose hope, and hope is the only window to your future. So if there is nothing which can boost your hope to the higher level, you could easily stop going for your dreams. You can easily stop going for something that you might have achieved. So you have to seek environment which might give you inspiration, which might give you hope. And one of them is joining with other teams with the same idea, with the same mission, with the same direction of action. For example, us as LQP Community Network, we like to encourage each other in our area of studying, in our area of reading, in the philosophy and leadership, in business and maybe career development, in sales and marketing. We like to learn about these things, and we tell each other that you can do it, and this is what you need. Point number 11, he says, we earn money by providing the service needed. And from the same statement, I recall now the statement which was also given by Zig Ziglar. Zig Ziglar says that in life, you will get what you need once you help enough people to get what they need. So it starts with helping other people to get what they need, and then out of that, you can end up by getting what you need. And you always get in the larger proportion comparing to what you had put in. So it's like a farmer. You have this small amount of seed which you must first plant in the land. But after planting in the land, then you can get an enormous amount of harvest. The same it happens in life. So you might have some time. Actually, there could be some even people who can mock you, like, hey, you have planted your seed. Why there is nothing? We don't see anything there. We just see only grass. But it doesn't take a second after you put the seed. Then it doesn't take a second for the harvest to come up. Sometimes it can take weeks. It can take a month, and you have to remove the grass on top. You have to water the area. You have to watch. But you don't go and dip the seed to see if it grows. If you do that, then you're going to kill your seed. And the same it happens in life. Plant your seed, by giving the service needed to people, and much more will be given back to you. And actually, this is one of the golden laws also. It has been emphasized in the Bible, that learn to give, because it is by giving that it shall be given back to you in the enormous quantity. I don't even recall the exact words which were said here, but that's how I can recall. I can just say about it. Point number 12, the last point which I noticed from the book, they said, act like a successful person you would like to be. And this is how some other speakers, they would call it like, how should I put it? They say, fake it until you make it. So you can easily misinterpret it like, okay, so faking now is good. No, they don't mean faking as maybe making fake product or something like that, but faking in the context of acting as if. So if you want to become successful, then learn the characteristics of these successful people. How do they act while they integrate with other people? How do they act while they are working on their projects? How do they manage their time? How do they manage their money? And then start to act like them. This is how you become successful. For example, myself, I'm not a professional speaker. I've never been trained in speaking, but it reached to the point I decided I want to become a speaker. And by doing this, I started listening to great speakers. I've listened to Les Brown, I've listened to Miles Monroe, I've listened to Jim Rohn, I've listened to Zig Ziglar, I've listened to Peter Lynch, I've listened to Brian Tracy, I've listened to a lot of people. And now I'm picking up some of their traits and exercise on them, and it reaches to the end through blending of these characters plus my own talent. Then I end up coming up with something so significant, which you and other people are going to appreciate and agree to pay for it in the times ahead. So thank you so much for listening to me. I really encourage you to look for this book and read. But apart from that, make sure that you join our group of reading. We have this program, as I told you before. We read the books together because it's very difficult. You may want to read a book alone, but it's very, very difficult due to our daily surroundings. But as I said before on this, it was point number, which number was it? It was point number 10, that nothing great is achieved without inspiration. So by us joining together and read together, we kind of form this foundational inspiration, which boosts us into reading. So you're going to feel some sort of a commitment of reading the books, and you are actually going to read the books. So I would not like to talk very much. Thank you so much for listening. Make sure that you follow our pages, YouTube, you follow our pages, Facebook, you follow our pages, LinkedIn, so that you can be able to just to know what's happening. If there is any activity, then you might have an opportunity to participate. Apart from that, you can just learn from a few things that we talk about here. Thank you so much. Don't forget to subscribe in our YouTube video, but share it to your friends so that we can all learn and cross the bridge of poverty together. Thank you so much, and bye-bye.